All right, let's get right into it. There is this huge pressure on businesses right now to use AI. I mean, it's everywhere, right? But the thing is, a lot of companies are just jumping in head first without a real plan, kind of hoping a shiny new tool will magically fix their old problems. Today, we're going to talk about a totally different way of thinking, one that puts the system first, way before the tool.
And this is exactly where things go wrong for so many people. We call it the tool trap. You see, most organizations, what they do is they take this incredibly powerful AI and just plug it into their existing, kind of broken workflows and messy data. It's like strapping a rocket engine onto a rusty old bicycle. You're not going to get where you want to go any faster, you're just going to create a much bigger mess. And this quote right here, wow, just hits the nail on the head. You have to think of AI as a multiplier. If you give it clarity and a good structure, it multiplies that, and the results can be amazing. But if you feed it chaos and confusion, guess what? It multiplies that instead. It's not here to solve your deep-seated organizational problems. It's going to shine a massive spotlight on them and probably make them even worse. So if just buying the smartest AI on the market isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the core idea here is that structure always beats intelligence. It's not about having the smartest tool in the room. It's about building the smartest system. A better playbook, a better process will always outperform a fancier AI in the long run. So that's the big question, isn't it? If we know the tool trap is the problem, what's the actual solution? How do we get out of this reactive mode and start doing something that's truly strategic? The alternative is what we're calling the playbook approach. See, instead of starting with the technology, you start with your foundation. You focus on creating structured data, you optimize your workflows, and you define a really clear strategy first. Only after all that is in place do you bring in AI to help extend and scale that system you've built. The AI becomes a powerful booster for a system that already works, not a band-aid for one that doesn't.
And here's the crucial takeaway. Your real, lasting competitive advantage, it's not going to come from having AI. Let's be honest, pretty much everyone has access to AI now. The advantage comes from having organizational clarity. It's all about building a system where clear processes and shared knowledge come before you even think about automation. That structure, that clarity, that's the real asset.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's get practical for a minute and see how this human plus AI model really works day to day. Who does what? So here's the breakdown of who does what. You should think of the AI as your super smart junior assistant. It's absolutely fantastic at the heavy lifting. Drafting responses, summarizing huge case histories, spotting trends in the data that a human might miss. But the high-level, uniquely human stuff, that stays with us. Things like building trust with a client, managing complex change within an organization, and most importantly, staying accountable for the final outcome.
And when you make this shift, it fundamentally changes the nature of work itself. We move from being reactive to being proactive. So instead of just putting out fires and reacting to problems, you're actually designing systems that prevent those problems from happening in the first place. You stop just tracking static scores, and you start understanding the dynamic stories behind the numbers. You don't just manage accounts anymore, you orchestrate entire customer journeys from start to finish. And the result of this shift is just so powerful. By letting the AI handle about 30% of that operational, administrative work, all the synthesis and forecasting, it frees up a massive 70% of an employee's time. And what do they do with all that extra time? They reinvest it where it matters most, on high-value strategic work and direct face-to-face customer engagement. The stuff that actually builds relationships and moves the needle.
Now, of course, none of this works without some clear guardrails. This isn't about just letting the AI run wild and hoping for the best. This is about being smart and responsible. So, number one, any recommendation the AI makes has to be explainable. No black boxes. Number two, a human being must approve any high-impact action. Number three, sensitive data has to be protected, period. And finally, no matter what the AI suggests, accountability always, and I mean always, stays with human leadership.
Which brings us to our final and maybe the most important idea of all. When we talk about scaling a business, we usually think about adding more technology or hiring more people. But in this model, the true engine of scale, it's something else entirely. Now this right here, this is the ultimate test for any AI project you ever do. Ask yourself this question. If you took the AI away tomorrow, would your processes, your workflows, and your team's overall clarity still be better than when you started? If the answer is yes, then you know you didn't just buy a tool. You built a better, stronger, more resilient system. You built something real. So, what should you really take away from all this? Well, it boils down to 3 simple but really powerful rules. First, start small. Pick one clear problem and solve it. Second, measure the actual business outcomes, not just how much people are using the AI. And third, always keep humans in the loop and accountable for the results. That's how you build something that actually lasts.
So at the end of the day, it really leaves us with one final thought. The question is no longer, what AI tools should I buy? The real question, the one you should be asking yourself, is what system am I building? Because that is what's ultimately going to determine whether you succeed or fail.